Hello everyone and welcome to the FRS PC Division 3 Italian Grand Prix. Slightly different format for you this evening as we have a sprint race to start us off. I say sprint qualifying to start us off, followed by a 50% race. And tonight I am joined in the commentary box by our very own Mark Hopkins.
Hello. And yeah, it's a good one today. We have got reverse grid order based on the championship table. So Gali, for instance, got no points. He is starting in first. Cruzo will be second, Nordi third, Hamlin fourth, Nero fifth after a really good race last time out, winning his first ever race in the whole FRS, despite him being here from the start. Harkin sixth, Lazo in seventh, eighth is Lord Volk, ninth is Jinxie, 10th Andrew Orthodox, and 11th Tom Mack. And those last two haven't completed a race in this division. They're not on the top of the championship. That is Jinxie. It is a very close championship. Gardy stalled off the line, so we are waiting for his car to come all the way from the back to the front.
And he's
And
just
then we will
forming up the
watch
grid
them.
now.
And we will watch them, and I will sit myself on board with Hamlin as I watch the start. We'll get to see who gets away well, who doesn't.
We're formed up now, just waiting for the lights. 5 red lights, and we are... Nope, we are underway now here in Italy. The lights just
really
have a bit
good
of a
start from
desync
both
there.
McLarens. Nordy's going to go all the way around the outside. Cruzo looking to go up the inside, and Hamlin just looking to make his way. And one of the McLarens have gone straight on. That's Nordy. And there's contact between Cruzo and Hamlin behind. Cruzo being pushed into the gravel, and he's going to be a sitting duck now for Hercules just behind him.
As you see, Nordy just rejoining from the escape road. That is a really unfortunate start for the McLaren driver. But up at front, Gali leading the way from pole position.
And Lord Volker's made a mistake as well. He's going straight over the chicane. Tom Mack looking for a move on the championship leader, Jinxie. Jinxie keeps it all together. He is now in fifth. Really bad start from Neuro down the seventh. But Gali keeps it all together, and he is still first, despite... And Jinxie's made a move on Hercules, and he is up now to fourth. So Jinxie making short work of these guys in his bid to win the championship here.
Yeah, and this obviously this reverse championship ordered grid really spicing things up here. We should see a lot of action as opposed to some of our other races where potentially the faster people will start at the front and go away. Right now we've got the fast guys at the back, and it's really showing the competitive nature, especially for Jinxie now storming up to the back of Cruzo.
And someone's in already, and that is Gali, who's decided to go for a very, very early pit stop.
If we take a look at the tyres these guys started on, so Gali looks like we're starting on the mediums. We'll switch over to run the entire race on the softs. Although this is a sprint race, we do still have the mandatory pit stop, and the softs should last the entire race. So a lot of the drivers some of the drivers.
Jinxie now. Jinxie really wasting no time. Cruzo is on the medium tyres. Jinxie will have the pace, and of course he is the championship leader, so he's just naturally got the pace on Cruzo. Cruzo goes a little bit wide. Is that going to give Jinxie the run? It certainly is. Into the Lesmos he goes. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to try and hang Cruzo
just enough space there
out to dry. Fantastic.
Got a nose ahead there from Jinxie as he comes into the second Lesmos, and he is ahead. But Tom Mack coming back through as well on Cruzo. He's going to have the outside line coming into Ascari. And has the car fully ahead. Tom Mack doing extremely well here. Currently on 0 points.
One to watch. Sorry, he's one to watch because he was a Division 2 driver, and he's come down to Division 3, so he's got the pace to match the guys like Jinxie, and you can see that here as Cruzo looks to be coming back at Tom Mack. But I think once they get round this corner, I think Tom is just going to have the traction on those soft tyres, and he's going to follow Jinxie away into the dust. And there's Hamlin into the pits.
Be interesting to see where Hamlin comes out here. If we keep an eye on Gali just coming up to the final corner now, and Hamlin still in the pit lane, switching over now.
Sorry to interrupt you. Nero's just made contact with Cruzo in the first corner. He spun Cruzo round. I don't think Nero's got any damage. Cruzo's just about managed to keep it together, but he's under pressure now from his teammate Nordy.
Nordy now Well, both drivers still on the medium compounded tyre. Have to see what they do inside the team here. As Cruiser goes very, very deep into the corner. Nordy's got the inside line again into the. Oh, and there's contact again between the McLarens. And this is
a lot of contact.
A lot of contact, and Crusoe leaving no room for his teammate there.
Oh, he just barged him off the track. That was not very sporting from the two McLaren drivers. I mean, we saw him go wheel to wheel with Jinxie. He is letting Nordy back pass, but
no, he's now spun Nordy. I'm not sure what happened there, but whoa, really, these two McLaren drivers not leaving each other an inch of room.
That's a real mess. What's happened there? I wonder if there was desync involved in any of that. Tom Mack is into the pits on soft tyres, and he's got a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. So he was looking very good for winning this one. Certainly challenging Jinxie. Neuro also into the pits, so is Crusoe. Nordy looks like he will be coming in as well. I wonder if he's got damage.
And that's going to be very unfortunate for the two
Hamlin
McLaren drivers.
Facing the wrong way.
Are they going to be double stacking here? As it.
Oh, and he nearly gets collected by Lord Volk there.
And yet,
a lot of things are happening here. Hamlin was essentially sideways on the track in the Parabolica. Just about got out of the way in time for Lord Volk to come around the corner, and Lord Volk didn't in the end crash into him.
Jinxie now the only driver not to have made their pit stop, going on a different strategy to a lot of the other cars, opting to make their first stint the long one, and then come in towards the end of the race.
Well, he started on soft tyres, which you've got to say means that he was going to try and gain as many places in the first couple of laps as possible. He's done that, lap 4, and he's leading the race. Now Gali is P2. Jinxie's got the pace on him, just needs to pull out a gap. Hope for Gali to be able to hold up the guys behind. With Tom Mack, it doesn't matter so much because he's got a 5-second penalty. But the guys like Hercules and Lazo and Lord Volk, he really wants Gali just to hold these guys up so he can make time on them. And then presumably pit with 2 or 3 laps to go.
Although looking at the intervals now, it actually looks like Gali might have a bit more pace with the fresher soft compound tyres, is closing that gap to Jinxie. Ever so slightly.
He's not a slow driver. He's not. He's obviously got 0 points, but he's not a slow driver. I mean, I just don't think he's put in the practice that maybe he's needed in some of these races. But now that he's had the chance to start from pole, maybe he's thought, maybe I'll make the best of this, put in a load of practice and show these guys what I'm really capable of, and he certainly is today.
Yeah, I mean, with the opportunity presenting itself today, it looks like we have. Is that a stopped Alfa Romeo on the track? They are back underway.
And I presume that was Hamlin. Hamlin having a really bad race here today. And this is one to forget for him. Same with Neuro. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Neuro. He's down in 9th, started 5th. Won last time out.
Now under pressure from Crusoe. And Crusoe gets very sideways coming around the chicane there. And does well to hold on to it, but not so well to hold on to it there as he goes around at the first Lesmo. You need to be careful as his teammate will be coming around this section of track very shortly.
Oh, I don't need to see those two wheel to wheel again, to be honest.
No, we've had enough of that.
Been watching Neuro's on board, and it just looks like he's got no balance in that car. It just, the confidence isn't there, and I can see that when he's driving around. Again, is it a case of not having practiced enough? I don't know, but he just doesn't look how he looked just a round ago in Spa.
Hercules under pressure from Tom Mack, who is in turn under pressure from Andrew Orthodox at the moment. These 3 cars barely separated by a second as Andrew Orthodox looks like he's trying to get his nose under the diffuser of Tom Mack.
And Lazo has jumped the chicane. Hamlin has gone through, so has Lord Volk. So I don't know if he's spun there, has Lazo, or what's happened. As we watch now, Andrew Orthodox coming up the inside. He's got Tom Mack. Surely he's got Tom Mack here.
Yeah, with Andrew Orthodox on the soft compound tyres and Tom Mack on the mediums, makes the move fairly straightforward.
Oh, Tom is very wide there and nearly spins himself out. He has lost a whole bunch of time. He's outside the DRS window now. He has got it open, but he unless he can catch up another tenth or so, he won't have it for the next corner or the final corner.
Now Caradion closing onto the back of Hamlin into Ascari.
Yeah, Lazo looking to make up places. Certainly, he definitely want to be overtaking Hamlin. Lord Valk as well, going to make a charge. He's made a couple of mistakes, and he really needs to close up that gap to Jinxie. I mean, Jinxie will get 3 points here, but more importantly, will start on pole. Jinxie's into the pits.
Yep, Jinxie in the pits now coming out in the middle of this fight between the between Hercules and Andrew Orthodox.
Well, that's probably not where he intended to be. Hark and Andrew both on soft tyres. Jinxie is on medium tyres, but his tyres are much newer. So we'll see where that goes. Tom Mack behind on older medium tyres. You'd have to say Tom really hasn't got a chance of getting past Jinxie, even if he can close up.
Yeah, yes, at this point in the race, Tom Mack just really needs to capitalise on what he's got, and will be a good starting position from him in the race. Remember, there's no points for this race. Or is there points
No,
for this
there's
race?
three.
There's
I
3
think,
points.
I think it's 3-2-1. Yeah.
So not okay.
So
Sprint qualifying
well, I mean,
points do apply, but the big points come in the race afterwards.
so the Alpines look like they're going to run away with 5 points from this race. Nothing is stopping Gali out in front. Nothing is stopping him. The guy with 0 points in this championship is leading the race, and Andrew is nowhere near him. Well, I mean, Andrew's only just got past Hark, so we'll see what he can do.
And we were saying that we thought Tom Mack would have to be holding station, but is looking to try and make a move on Jinxie as they come down to the first corner, and he's got his nose well alongside into the should be able to get the apex there and have to take the outside into turn 2. Not quite enough ahead to make the moves last on Jinxie, but he's definitely still got pace even with those older medium tyres.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the clouds and seen the... Oh, he's going for a dive up the inside! Oh no, Tom, what are you doing?
That was an optimistic move, to be generous there. And is that yellow flags on the McLarens again?
Oh, I don't even want to look. I can't bear it. These guys, man, they need a sitting down. And hopefully the McLaren team boss... Here comes Tom Mack again on Jinx. He's got the DRS.
Right, I hate to say it, but
him.
the acting team principal is the driver in the lead McLaren at the moment. So
Puzo is the team
acting principal. Indeed, he is. So
all of the contact has all of a sudden just made so much more sense. No more questions. So Lazo not able to catch up to Hamlin. Not really, at least. Jinxie has made his way back past Tom Mack. And the guys on mediums, yeah, they're just kind of dueling with each other. And yeah, sorry, I was saying the clouds and just the general atmosphere of the track, you can see it's cold. And the guys on mediums, you can see they just don't have the traction out of the corners.
Yeah, not sure what the track temperature here is, but it can't be that warm. And yeah, the soft compound tyres are probably going to be the ones which are going to be running in the operating window at the moment, as Nordy has finished as retired from the session in the pit lane.
Good stuff. So hopefully no yellow flags are being waved, but hopefully no safety car.
Although it does appear the AI is taking that McLaren back out on track.
Classic AI.
So,
absolutely classic move. Vintage.
Yep. Absolute Codemasters play there.
Oh, Jinxie's gone round the sides. Tom Mack. They've both spun. Jinxie spun through a Scari. Tom Mack looked like he spun just to kind of avoid him. Now Tom Mack has to wait for all these cars to go past, and he's got to wait for Jinxie as well. And now he is back on track.
Although he's spun again and very nearly collected the Ferrari of Neuro.
And that's a huge mistake from the championship leader, and it's had incredible repercussions for Tom Mack as well. And Tom Mack has got to be a little bit annoyed, probably mostly at himself for car watching. Essentially is what he was doing. He was just busy watching Jinxie, and then he spun himself out. And now Jinxie is behind his championship rivals, that is Lazo and Lord Valk. Lord Valk in 4th, Lazo in 6th, and Hercules as well in 3rd.
Hercules chasing down Andrew Orthodox.
Yep, he's not really. I mean, Andrew has gained a bit of a gap on him, but he's not broken away. He's certainly not broken out of DRS. Andrew is on a mission though. He's been closing up to Gali, and the only thing that's been stopping Andrew from closing up anymore is the fact that Hercules keeps hounding him. So, not very long left. Can we see the two Alpines go at it? Can we see Hercules take back 2nd place?
Well, hopefully we see a cleaner inter-team battle than we did between the McLarens, as Andrew Orthodox a lot more to lose, and Hercules is eyeing up the inside line into Parabolica, but not close enough to make a move. Just looking to get into the mirrors of the Alpine. So they come down onto the start-finish straight. And Andrew Orthodox, crucially, just outside of DRS range on his teammate, and Hercules with the DRS has got himself ahead before they even reach the braking zone of turn 1.
And I think this is what will save Gali, because Gali is just about a second ahead, and oh, that was a big one from Hercules.
Yeah, a handful of oversteer there for Hercules. Did well to collect it and keep the car moving in the right direction without too much loss of pace.
And now we're going to see, once again, Andrew's going to come back at Hercules, and you can see, oh, Andrew's made a huge mistake, and has that released Hercules now to fight and to push and to catch Gali.
Yeah, he does just seem to be dropping back. He's still within that 1 second, so he can still get DRS to hound the back of Hercules and take some pressure off of Gali. And it also looks like Hercules has dropped back some, lost about 4/10 in this race. Or in this
yeah,
lap.
Hercules made a mistake. And Andrew's right up him again. There's no end to this, and Gali is storming it. He is on his way to, I suppose, his first pole position. Is that how we classify it?
Yeah, you get pole position for sprint qualifying. We're about as clued up on this as the real commentators of Formula 1.
But here comes Andrew once again. He's got the DRS, and it's so powerful here at Monza. Maybe runs out of track. He's going for it.
Oh, and yep, they both got through the first and second corners okay here. So no repeat of the real life Monza just a couple of weeks ago.
And then putting the power down, and you can see now here comes Andrew. Going to try and
round
go
the
up
outside
inside
on the Curva Grande. Takes the inside of the chicane, or maybe a slight bit of contact there, but they both make it through okay. And Andrew Orthodox is back into 2nd place for now, but Hercules is attacking again. The inside line, this is great, close, respectful driving between these drivers.
Oh, and Andrew makes a mistake coming out of the corner. That's going to give Herc, well, Herc gets DRS anyway, but that's going to give Herc the overtake back. And they're coming up now to Ascari, to Parabolica, and then the very final lap of this sprint qualifying. Gali is laughing his way to the bank, 3 seconds ahead of these guys.
Oh, and Andrew Orthodox goes very wide coming out of Ascari. Still manages to keep his foot in, so doesn't fall too far from the back of Hercules, but runs very, very wide. Needs to be careful that he doesn't pick up a track limits violation for that.
Here's Andrew now, and he's messed up the Parabolica a little bit. He really should have been closer than he is. Here comes the DRS though. It's so powerful. You could see the speed difference between them as he just hunts him down.
Well, as Hercules defends the inside line, and yet not really room to make an attack there for Andrew Orthodox, so Hercules does stay ahead for this point. You can see in the background there, Calradion is attacking Hamlin for P5.
Yeah, Andrew Orthodox has made a mistake coming out of the first corner, and he's lost a load of time.
Calradion
back before. Here's Lazo. Not enough space. Just not enough space for him to do anything about it, unfortunately. But he will have DRS, as will Andrew Orthodox. Neither of them look like they're close enough to do anything. Hamlin, a bit of a slide coming out there, but he's recovered it very well.
Yeah, they both seem to have the pace as they're coming down towards the sky, and it's not quite a long enough run for Lazo to be able to do anything about it, so looks like they're going to hold station here. Now Ghali's just coming up to the final corner, his final run around Parabolica.
It's not going to change between Hark and Andrew, I don't think, but Lazo is so close to Hamlin. Here comes Ghali to win his sprint qualifying.
As Ghali takes pole
Lazo
position.
now, here's the run down. Lazo and Hamlin.
Oh, and this is
side by
extremely
side.
close, but I think Hamlin just managed to hold Lazo back as Jinxie takes 7th.
Half a tenth of a second. Wow.
And Tom Mack comes through, but his unserved 5-second penalty pushes him back to P9. And then rounding out the top 10 is Cruzo.
Oh, that really was something. I mean, that was non-stop.
That
and
was.
Ghali, who started on pole, retains his pole for the actual race. Wonderful stuff from him.
And just remind you, although we are seeing a trophy celebration at the moment, that was the sprint qualifying for pole position. So we will be going into our full race after this. So our grid will be Ghali starting on pole position, followed by Hercules, Andrew Orthodox, Lord Volk, Hamlin, Lazo, Neuro, Jinxie, Tom Mack, Cruzo and Nordi. And well, I'm interested to see what happens between the two McLarens in the full race with them starting side by side. This could get spicy. But we will be back shortly for the race here, so we're just going to go to a quick ad break while we get our lobby set up, so please don't go anywhere. Welcome back everyone, apologies for the ongoing delays. We can now return after an extended red flag period. And we will pick up where we left off with Lord Volk in the lead of this Italian Grand Prix, followed by Hamlin, Hercules, Lazo, Tom Mack, Ghali, Neuro, Jinxie, Nordi, Andrew Orthodox and Cruzo.
So, I think, has Hamlin made it back?
He has indeed, and he's currently
has.
sitting
I
in
can see him.
P2.
Brilliant. Yeah, good stuff. So, yeah, this is a game.
Is
and
it
there's all the
intentional that we've
compliments,
only
I'd
got
say.
a 13 lap race?
Yes, I think with all the delays that we've had, we've just decided to cut it short, and we're just going to do a 25% to finish it off. The rules do say do a 50%, but you know what?
This has been so delayed.
A mess. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we'll probably go back to the drawing board and think about what we're going to do in the US regarding a sprint race, just because I don't know. It's been interesting for sure, but I just wonder if remaking the lobby this many times is yeah, maybe
Wise.
a little bit much. So we'll see how we go. But the two Alfa Romeos will be leading the pack 1 and 2. That'll be quite nice to sit and watch. I'll be sitting on board 4th place. Lazo, here come the lights.
Lights up, and we are underway, and the two Alfa Romeos lead us off as Cruzo's got a very good start and Nordi an awful start and has fallen right off the back, but it's side by side at the front between the two Alfa Romeos. They okay, Hamlin seems to be desynced.
Everyone else seems to be fine, at least on my screen. That's a bit of a shame for Hamlin. He had a really good start, actually, and Lord Volk had a really poor start, but, well, Lord Volk is still in first, and he's building a bit of a lead on Hamlin. Hark, not really sure how he's going to play this. Is he going to just drive straight through the ghosted Hamlin? He really shouldn't, and he really, according to the rules, he can't. Unfortunately for Ghali, he's dropped back, and the same with Andrew Orthodox. It's all over the back of Ghali here. And Ghali's gone wide.
Ghali's gone very wide there.
And he's gotten that position once again. Jinxie will be blessed by this red flag because it gives him a second opportunity to bring himself back into contention. Now he's in 7th. Tom Mack passed Lazo.
As Cruzo gets very close to the back of Neuro. So
And now
still...
here comes Andrew Orthodox on Lazo. Going to go up the inside. The two McLarens as well, side by side. And Andrew, he's going to have it on the inside. Lazo trying to switch back here. Is he going to make it work? He's going to have the DRS, but I think Andrew Orthodox has just got so much overspeed. Now Lazo gets the slipstream, and he's got that overspeed back. Here we go. He's going to go all the way around the outside. At least that's his
Is he going to
plan.
have a nose ahead by the outside? It does look like Andrew Orthodox still has the corner. Oh, but no, a very good run from Lazo. Just about runs him wide, but who's going to have the run out of the corner? As Jinxie gets involved in this as well. Jinxie with the run around the outside through the Curva Grande. Looks like he's about to get ahead of Andrew Orthodox here.
That was a fantastic late braking manoeuvre from the Red Bull driver, and Jinxie's benefited as well. And there goes Andrew Orthodox. He just goes straight on, and he's going to have to rejoin all the way around there, and he's lost himself a lot of time. But Jinxie up into 6th. Now the hunt is on. Lord Vulcan first. They're separated by, what was it, a point? A single point.
Indeed.
I think that was it. He's really got to make it up now as he's losing time. He's, 5 or 6 seconds back from Lord Volk. He's got to get a shift on now, catch Lazo, get past him, and then see about the
Nordi
others.
and Neuro side by side into Ascari. As Neuro manages to keep it just ahead in this time around.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from both of them. Fuso a little bit further back than he'd want to be. But they are kind of bunched up now. Gali, Neuro and Nordi all scrapping for position.
Over the tail end of the top 10, but they're fighting it out strong at the back.
They're all in it for the points.
We've got to say, with this shortened race, this should actually be the sprint race we were looking for, as no one will need to pit. Or else will not be under an obligation to pit. As Tom Mack has...
he's gone straight over.
Not quite sure where he's going there.
And unfortunately that escape road is incredibly bumpy, and I don't know if you quite caught it on the broadcast, but he really unsettled the car as he went over there, and especially in these kind of conditions. So he is right at the back now, and he's still got a point, but he'll need to fight for any more than that. Lord Volk doing spectacularly at the front, just making that gap to Hamlin, who is holding back Hark behind him.
Well, unfortunately, we cannot bring you the intervals right now. But at the front, Hercules still chasing down that, I believe, AI-driven car of Hamlin. Well, it's really in the back where the close fighting is, as Ghali's under pressure from Nordi now, who did manage to clear Neuro. And Nordi going for the outside as they come up to the Parabolica. And made that one look fairly straightforward.
I was thinking on board with Hercules, and it doesn't look like Hamlin is actually driven by an AI. I think it's just really, really poor connection, which is why the game has just completely ghosted his car. Now we went through all of the settings and stuff like that, so I'm not entirely sure if and Tom Mack's out. No idea what's happened to him there. We'll
sit on board with Cruzo to see. Actually, for Cruzo, he will be allowed past the safety car. It should get waved on by, so can go and rejoin on the back of the pack. Let's just see what happened there. Was it a retire in the pit lane for? Oh, and the Haas has disappeared from the circuit.
Well, he was outside of the pit lane, of the pits when. So I don't know if he's lost it under throttle or down the straight or what's happened there. But yes, Cruzo will be allowed to get back up to speed, come back around, and join back onto the back of that queue. I suppose the person this hurts the most is Lord Volk, who had quite a sizable lead over Hamlin. and it will allow some of the other guys, especially Jinxie, to close back up in the hopes of getting past some of these guys and fighting his way back towards the front.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity for Jinxie, who got himself caught out at the back of the pack, has managed to make some moves and move sizable way up the grid, has now got the chance to do it all again on this safety car restart. As Lord Volk is now caught on to the back of the safety car. No body kill. This is not quali. We had to red flag the race. So this is the race. But we are running a shorter session here as we had a few connection issues.
And I will just be back in just one moment, just sort of clearing some stuff up in the Division 3 channel, so just bear with me.
As we have another lap under the safety car. This does play into the hands of Cruzo, who still needs to make his way back around to catch the back of this field, and should be able to easily do so before they get back underway. You see the winners and losers from this race, and it seems that Jinxie, Andrew Orthodox and Nordi are the biggest gainers here. They moved themselves into the mid pack from what was an unfortunate showing for those drivers in the sprint qualifying. And it does seem to be a little bit of shuffling going along in the mid pack, so hopefully this will all sort itself out and we won't see any penalties handed out.
Right, so I'm back, and it seems I think Tom Mack tried to retire into the pits, and something or other happened, and the safety car was brought out. So, bit of a shame, but it is what it is, I suppose. And these guys will get racing at the end of this lap. One would hope we've seen enough glitches that we don't also see the glitch where the safety car just stays out indefinitely. So we
we're
can
now
all cross our
approaching
fingers.
the line for the third sector, and hopefully we'll see, yes, the safety car will
There
be
we
in
go.
this lap, so we will be able to hopefully bring you 7 laps of racing here at Monza.
Right, we're expecting no more, no tyre changes at all, really. And we're just hoping that these 10 guys can make it to the end. And Neuro and Andrew Orthodox, have come together, and Neuro's got a 5-second penalty.
And not only that, Neuro is round on the final
He is.
straight.
And it doesn't look like he can get going. Has he beached it?
Looks like that car is beached and had to reset to
Oh, the
track,
game's reset him.
and
Oh,
we
not
are back
ideal.
underway here, and it looks like Lazo's got a good run on Hercules as they come down to the first corner and see how they deal with the ghosted Hamlin. Well, they're just driving straight through it seems.
And they're all coming in. It's turn 1 all over again. Jinxie not able to make any places up, but Lazo, on the podium now. Neuro is going from bad to worse, unfortunately for him. I think he's probably coming to the pits to retire.
Does seem that way.
And I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. I wonder if he's just steamrolled in. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. And now Lazo's got to think about what he wants to do.
So we have a
With
yellow
regards,
car in the second sector, and that looks like that is the McLaren of Crusoe, which is round. But he's managed to get it back underway, so hopefully you won't see another safety car here. But Lazo chasing down Hamlin. So they come for the run up to Ascari. No DRS going to be enabled for this race, so any move on track is going to just have to be a natural pass.
and Lazo kind of lining up Hamlin, but he's just not quite close enough. These guys have got overtake to them, but no DRS. And Lord Volk again hoping just to steam away in the lead. And they do have to overtake Hamlin in the good old-fashioned way. That is all the way around him, not through him, despite the fact that he's ghosted. So we'll keep an eye on that. Make sure that these guys do it the right way.
As Hamlin now does rejoin, so he is back in this race.
So he's taken advantage of the fact that Hamlin is ghosted, but he isn't going to just drive straight through him. I think he knows better than that, being a season 1 veteran. But they have completely lost Hercules and Jinxie, and Hark and Jinxie are miles away. Nordy going for a move on Jinxie down below. We're seeing a couple of moves.
Nordy just backing out of it, thinking better of the move, but has got great traction out of the chicane on the run down to the first Lesmo. Has got the move made, so Nordy up into P5 with a good run out of the chicane. And now
so great stuff from Lazo getting ahead of Hamlin. Terrible, from bad to worse for Jinxie. He's now down in 6th place, and the championship lead has slipped fully out of his grasp.
And he's under pressure now from Andrew Orthodox as he comes up the inside of Ascari. And yep, Andrew Orthodox is ahead into the corner and is driving away. So Jinxie really not coping well with the conditions here, just falling back down the field. And I've got to say, he's got to be watching out in his mirrors for Gali rather than looking ahead to Andrew Orthodox, it feels at the moment.
We've seen it before with some of these guys. I think Timalele springs to mind. Dreadfully quick in the dry, and then once it gets wet, it seems like they're in no man's land. The great equalizer comes out again, and Jinxie has fallen prey. And Andrew Orthodox looking to make inroads now. He's caught right up to the back of Nordy, and presumably has better traction out of the corners, which is why he's closing up so much. So we'll see if he makes the move.
Yeah, Hamlin he does seem to be right on the back of that McLaren at the moment. But Hamlin's keeping up with
going for a move. Andrew Orthodox going for the move up the inside.
Backs
Nordy
out of it.
Space.
But he has got the better traction out of the corner as Andrew Orthodox. But a little bit squirrely there under acceleration, and gives Jinxie a chance to come up on the inside. So we'll stick with it here as Jinxie has got the move made up in the inside. It's got the position back from Andrew Orthodox, so it's all nip and tuck here at the middle of the field.
Yes, Andrew Orthodox got a better run out of the chicane than Nordy did, but unfortunately Nordy was there. There was nowhere really for Andrew to go. If he jinked it all the way to the right, he would have just lost it under these conditions. So very, very tricky. Nothing more he could have done, and obviously that put him at the mercy of Jinxie. But now it looks like they're going to swap around, although Andrew Orthodox has used all of his overtake for this lap, so he won't be able to round the parabolica.
And there's not much grip out there for Andrew Orthodox. You've got the dry line, and once he starts to stray off it, there's not going to be much grip out there, so not the best of runs out of the corner for Andrew Orthodox, and you can see he's just dropping back a bit from Jinxie.
Yeah, and that was in part due to the fact that he didn't have any overtake left, so he's relying essentially on just his mechanical power, none of the electrical. But he will have it now, so maybe he'll use it a little bit more sparingly this lap. Lazo, I'm not sure if he's able to catch up to Lord Volk. He has set a purple first sector. We'll have to sort of wait and see how his second sector matches up.
Yeah, the Red Bull driver pushing hard here. You can see some of these corners just getting a little bit of oversteer as he's coming out of the corners, just pushing it, trying to pick up the acceleration as early as possible. It's one thing to catch up here around Monza, it's another thing entirely to overtake, especially without DRS.
Yeah, with all the kind of incidents and losing traction, we've got a bit of a breathing space now. So everyone's separated by basically a second. We've got 3 laps to go when Lord Vault crosses the line. Can Lazo catch him up? And if he does, will he have enough speed to get himself past? I don't think so. Oh, he's made a huge mistake as Lazo. Oh, he came around the parabolica, got too much of the curb, went way over to the right, and so very nearly straight into the pit entry wall, and he would have been out completely. That's allowed Hamlin to close up a little bit, not drastically, but has probably made Lazo's chance of catching Lord Volk an impossibility now. With only 3 laps to go, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, we've got to say without a mistake, Lord Volk's position is pretty much sealed in this race. And so Lazo's going to have to just accept P2 here. Doesn't want to fall into the clutches of Hamlin behind.
Well,
But
actually, that being said, the 4 tenths he lost doing that, he's already gained in the first sector. Now he's losing a little bit of time here and there, and that's a big slide. Yeah, I think it's probably over for Lazo. He's now, yeah, he's just lost a second and a half in that. So Hamlin right up the back of him, who I think isn't ghosted anymore. Well, he is ghosted, but I think he is actually driving himself.
yeah, I believe Hamlin is reconnected at this point, so he's able to push on and try and make the move on Lazo. But further down the field, it's Andrew Orthodox who's chasing down Jinxie as they come out of Ascari. But still not close enough at this point. They're going to have 2 more laps once Lord Volk passes the start-finish line.
Yeah, and without DRS, it's so much more difficult to build up a lead, and you've got to be really, really close for that slipstream to take effect. But getting close, of course, we know this from Formula One, it's just not that easy. Hamlin, though, is kind of closing up to Lazo, who has been struggling a little bit in these conditions. Lord Volk, not with the same pace that he had at the start of the race. I wonder if he's just in damage limitation mode now, if he's just on getting the car home all in
Yeah,
one piece.
yeah, you've got to say at
Um,
this point of the race, it's really just a matter of bring it home safely. Doesn't have to push too hard, doesn't have to take any risks in any corners. Last thing you want to do is just spin up the rears too much and send it into a wall when you're so comfortably in the lead.
Yeah, and with Jinxie way down in 6th place, he's laughing his way to a championship lead. Back again on top with Max not being in this race. The championship looks to be lining up to be Lord Volk's. Now, can he keep it together for the last couple of laps? I suppose that is another thing. Jinxie again not quite close enough to Nordy. You would have to say in the dry conditions, Jinxie would be all over Nordy. He'd be steamrolling him, but not here. And Gali picks up 3 seconds to add to his list of problems. And Cruzo is close enough that he will take that position from him.
And Andrew Orthodox also putting Jinxie under some pressure. So the as you say, the rain, the great equaliser here, and making it difficult for anyone to make any sort of inroads in the fights that are on track. With DRS, you would have thought Jinxie would be right on the back of Nordy and potentially trying to make a move into turn 1, but without the DRS, they sort of just have to hold formation. And well, some of the drivers here picking up points where maybe they wouldn't have expected to in a dry race.
Yeah, I mean, well, everyone who's going to finish now will pick up at least 1 point, including Neuro. And I suppose that's probably why he didn't retire from the race, because he knows that even being last, that's at least 1 point for him. So as long as he's done the full, however many laps it is, and well, so 13 out of 13. Here we are, Lord Vault coming round to Ascari and looking to pick up this win. 2 seconds ahead of Lazo. Hamlin down in 3rd. Hark in 4th. Nordy 5th. Championship leader, soon to be championship 2nd, is in 6th.
Lord Volk brings us round Parabolica for the final time to see the checkered flag and to take the victory here in Monza.
And what a win it
And the
was.
fastest lap as well. That valuable extra point in his championship fight. The rest of our order is Calderon, Hamlin, Hercules, Nordy, Jinxie.
What a race it was from Lord Volk. Absolutely brilliant from start to finish of this particular 25%. He's just kept it together. He's made basically no mistakes. He's been leading the race the whole way, and thoroughly deserved, and sets a fastest lap right at the end as well. And
And
he is
we,
now leading the championship, and he will be incredibly happy about that, I can imagine. With not that many races to go, what are we halfway through? He is setting his sights on that World Championship.
and as I say, for Lord Volk to be able to keep his cool with all the uncertainty, with the red flags, the restarts, the session rehosts, but just managing to keep his cool and bring it home incident free, and yeah, maintaining that gap at the front. Who would your driver of the day be for today?
Got to give it to Lord Volk. I know it's not fun to pick the guy who started first. Maybe Lazo. I mean, he fought from quite far back to come up to second, so definitely one of those two. What about yourself?
Yeah, can't really look beyond Lord Volk. Had a sensational first race, if we want to call it that, in the sprint to get himself up into the front row of the grid, and then to take P1 here with the stressful conditions and the horrendous rain. Very well done to the Alfa Romeo driver.